Live your life to the full, with a lifetime of smiles. Made us know right from wrong, always knowing a lie. You made us be tough, but never too rough. Rise above's what you said, never easily led. And one day we'll all sing along, 'cause this is your song. We wrote it for you. It won't take all day, just a minute or two. You were our friend, walked with you till the end. And one day we'll all sing along, 'cause this is your song. So we'll try and go on, loving all that we know. Through the hardest of times, you put on a show. You made us stand tall when all around us would fall. Even when you were low, you believed you could fly. And one day we'll all sing along, 'cause this is your song. We wrote it for you. It won't take all day, just a minute or two. You were our friend, walked with you till the end. And one day this is your song. I wrote it for you. It'll take all our lives just to help us get through. You were our friend, walked with you till the end. And one day we'll all sing along. And one day we'll all sing along. 'Cause this is your song.
Cattle and goats, ponies and geese, ducks, chooks and birds, dogs and cats, and everything furred. And interesting creatures in others he stirred, and through illness he went on undeterred. His was a life full of kindness and heart. He was selfless, private, but always played his part. Caring for animals for him was like art, and his example inspired many others to start. He loved to go out for a walk or a stroll, but illness, in the end, took its toll. His passing will leave in our lives a great hole, and he'll be missed as a wonderfully generous soul. Ladies and gentlemen, today there might be smiles, maybe some tears, but hopefully no regrets. Today we meet to celebrate the life of Jeremy Smith, a son, a brother-in-law, an uncle, and a friend. A man whose life was characterised by hard work, determination, a love of fun and cheek, of tricks and practical jokes. His huge heart, his generosity, his prowess in the poultry scene as a fierce competitor, benching many class winners and taking out bird of show. His love of a good chat about his pets and his animals. And so welcome to each of you as we have gathered here this morning. My name is Simon, and along with all of the staff here at Parkside, we have been privileged to be invited to care for Jeremy after his death. And so I thank you, John and Sylvia, Derek and Heather, Colin, Wendy, Heidi and Vanessa, your extended families, for inviting us to be here today. Firstly, could I take this opportunity to ask, if anyone has not already done so, that they take a moment to turn their mobile phones off or onto silent as your mark of respect for Jeremy. At the conclusion of this service, you're invited to join in a time of refreshments, perhaps a less formal time of remembering Jeremy's life over a cuppa, a bite to eat, and a chat, which Jeremy loved so much. There are many people who, for varying reasons, cannot be here today, but who nevertheless are here in spirit and in thought. They may be watching this service via live stream, or perhaps at a later time, and so I welcome you also. So today we have come together from different places, and we're all at different stages on our own journey through life. Our paths are varied and different, and we look at life in different ways. But there is one thing that we all have in common, and that is, at one point or another, and to some degree or another, our lives have touched Jeremy's life. And so we have put aside this time, and we have gathered here to give expression to the thoughts and the feelings that we feel in our hearts today. Just as we would meet to say goodbye to anyone that we love who was leaving on any journey, we are meeting here this morning to say some of our goodbyes to Jeremy. We are saying our public and collective goodbye here in the chapel. And a little later, the family will say some of their own private and personal goodbyes to Jeremy. But today we are sending him off with our love, maybe a few tears, but also with our blessings, but most of all, with our gratitude for having had Jeremy as a son, a brother, an uncle, and a friend. You only had to have a quick scroll through Facebook, which I did the other day, to see what an impact Jeremy has made on his community. Death has a way of uniting us in a way that perhaps no other human experience does, especially a death that we didn't expect to happen. It reminds us of the fragility of our relationships. It reminds us of the special and unique way in which we relate to those people who cross our paths in life. Everyone here will have had a different relationship with Jeremy and will express their loss differently. Grieving any death is a very personal and unique expression. Grieving, I think, can be likened a little bit to a rough road. There are ups and downs and potholes along the way. But hopefully it will be all the wonderful memories that you have of Jeremy that bring you comfort as you bump along that road into the future. It's important to remember that Jeremy is still with you. There won't be any new memories to make with him, but no one can take away what you shared with him. It's important to talk about and to remember the times that you shared with him, just as we are doing today. They say that the best and the most beautiful things in life cannot be seen or touched. They are your memories. Jeremy had a faith that was instilled in him by his parents, and he's been a regular attendee at many of the various churches around Wynyard over the years. And so, as a mark of respect for this part of Jeremy's life, we're going to listen to the hymn Amazing Grace. The words will be displayed on the screens, and you can follow along if you wish.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
And so today is a day when stories will flow. Stories that capture the essence of the man that was Jeremy Smith. Stories that will make us laugh, remember things long forgotten, and remind us of times that have passed. And Jeremy's family have been busily preparing away in the background this last week, Jeremy's eulogy. And so let's take some time to stretch our proverbial legs and take a walk down memory lane. Heather, would you like to come now?
Jeremy Allen Smith, also known fondly as Joe, Smithy and Jezza by his loved ones and friends. Jeremy was born on the 28th of October 1979. He was such a happy and cheeky little boy from the time that he started smiling and running around. He was never short of attention, as he had 6 siblings that carted him around everywhere and doted on him. You would often see Jeremy running around, dressed up in his sister's dresses, with headscarves on and his face painted up, where Wendy, Heidi and Vanessa practiced their makeup artistry on him. And Jeremy loved it, prancing around, showing off his new look. From a very early age, Jeremy took an interest in animals, especially farm animals, especially chickens. He looked right at home, walking around in his flannelette shirts and his gumboots. He also loved wearing hats, whether it was Dad's terry toweling hat or his big brother Colin's slouch hat and motorbike helmet. Jeremy loved playing practical jokes, especially on his brothers and sisters. One night, Vanessa jumped into bed and, to her dismay, found duck food right throughout it. Mind you, these practical jokes started at a very early age, and they never stopped as he got older. At every opportunity, he was surprising friends of the family with various pranks, especially whoopee cushions when they came to visit, and he would turn and laugh hysterically. Right through his life, Jeremy enjoyed the company of his pets, and my goodness, did he have some pets. Dogs, cats, sheep, cows, goats, ponies, a horse, chickens, ducks, geese, guinea fowl, cockatoos, canary, peacocks that flew off much to his disgust and was last seen running up the Flowerdale Road. There's rabbits and fish, a wallaby, a wombat, a possum, mice, and we can't forget the rat. He probably had every animal that came from the ark as a pet during his lifetime. Jeremy started school at Table Cape Primary, and then he went through to Wynyard High School, and then later on attended Hellier College. During his school life, he made some lifelong friends. Jeremy had a huge heart and would do anything he possibly could to help out a mate. We have found great encouragement and comfort reading people's messages of what Jeremy meant to them and the special things Jeremy would surprise them with, like a 21st birthday party for his best friend, Christian. Jeremy loved people, young and old, right from an early age. He always had time for a chat, And no doubt there would be many here today that would have had one of Jeremy's late night phone calls, receiving a text first saying, "Are you up?" He attended Scouts as a young boy, enjoyed going to Sunday school and later on to youth group, where he became a leader for 5 to 6 years. Where there was people, there was Jeremy, always up for a chat and getting alongside people to encourage them. When Jeremy left Hellier, he got his first paying job at Warehouse Traders, working with, you guessed it, animals. Yep, few nods, animals. And yes, more pets got smuggled into the home, much to Dad's delight. It was around this time that Jeremy discovered a new animal to take his attention. Next door, Peter and Lorraine Atkinson started an emu farm. Jeremy loved birds, but this one was a bit more challenging. He was often seen next door, wrestling with an emu, trying to help muster them into an enclosure, or being chased by one around the paddock. Jeremy moved on from working at Warehouse Traders to working alongside Dad and Mum at Buccaneers for Seafood. It was whilst here that Jeremy became a well-loved community figure. Jeremy would have time for anyone that popped into the shop. Here you would find him leaning over the counter, deep in discussion with anyone that would stop and chat. Coffee. Jeremy loved coffee. Not just a cappuccino, it had to be a muggerccino. He would frequently visit all the cafes in the town, sometimes several in the same day, but he enjoyed his coffee and to have a good old chat. Just having chickens as pets was not enough for Jeremy, and he decided to become a member of the North West Poultry Society and became interested in showing chickens. John Pearce took Jeremy under his wing and mentored him in all things about showing chickens. Jeremy travelled to Melbourne and Sydney with John Pearce and Maurice Young, attending several poultry shows. They would spend a few extra days exploring the area while they were there. He would take great pride in spending hours cleaning and preparing his Rhode Island fowls, soft feather fowls, Welsh summer pullets and bantams of varying breeds, ready for show condition. He won many first and second prizes and travelled over the state to show off his birds. Jeremy also enjoyed raising show standard pullets and selling them. That passion for showing birds grew, and later on, Jeremy became a judge himself, going to some of the agricultural shows around the state and also some interstate. The Western Division Badminton Club was also something Jeremy got interested in, and I've been told that he actually had a wicked serve. Jeremy had lots of interests. He enjoyed cooking. He mastered scones, the ones made with lemonade. They became his specialty. A form of relaxation for Jeremy was watching movies and sequels with Mum. He and Mum would be content in watching the same DVD over and over and over and over again, quite often with a Bundy and Coke in his hand. I don't know how many times Jeremy watched the series of A Country Practice and his favourite movie, The Man from Snowy River. Jeremy enjoyed working on the land. He loved jumping on a tractor or a four-wheeler motorbike and hitting the paddocks. Later, after working for Dad and Mum at the shop, he started employment at the Bramages, working on the farm, helping out with sheep, beef cattle and dairy cows. He particularly loved gathering the cows in for milking as he could jump on the four-wheeler. He also enjoyed spending time with Jay's children, coming home to Mum and Dad, telling them of the antics which the children got up to, which probably Jeremy started by himself. Jeremy's latest venture was wood splitting with his mate Tyler and other friends. They would spend hours cutting and splitting wood together and selling it to the public. Jeremy loved this time with his mates, often enjoying pizza and drinks after their day's work. Jeremy seemed to be the delegator. You would often seen him sit in a log, Bundy in one hand and the phone in the other. Jeremy, Joe, Smithy, Cheza, how can we sum up in a few paragraphs the life you lived? You brought fun and laughter into so many lives. You have always had the biggest heart. We don't know how to say goodbye. So to close, I will read a poem our sister-in-law Sandra wrote on behalf of the family. In memory of Jeremy, our beloved son and brother, whose laughter filled the farm, a spirit like no other. With chickens by his side, he bred and showed with pride. Caring for dogs and wildlife, his heart was open wide. A friend to many, his presence bold and bright. Badminton courts echoed with joy and fight. At 45, too soon, you left us here to grieve. But in our hearts, dear Jeremy, you will never leave.
Well done, Heather. I have some tributes that I've been asked to share, and to start, Jeremy's friend, I think Heather mentioned in her Eulogy Christian, has written the following. I met Jeremy at Helier College in grade 11, and we were in a few classes together during our time in college, and we quickly became very good friends. We became closer when I moved into my first unit in Wynyard towards the late 1990s. I remember one of my first grocery shopping trips to the local supermarket, and Jeremy tagged along. And boy, did it turn into an adventure. Jeremy would say, "Now we need this, and this, and this," grabbing random items from the shelves and start throwing them into the trolley with a big grin on his face. Jeremy and I, even though we saw each other during college hours, many an evening was spent talking over the phone about things that had happened during the day or just about things in general. We also spent many hours fishing together on the Wynyard Wharf, which was a great time, enjoying each other's company and sharing a common interest, and sometimes many a fish was actually caught. Jeremy had a very big impact on my life, and one big impact was that of my 21st birthday. He managed to organise and pull it off without me knowing until the night that it was sprung on me, and oh, what a big surprise it was. It's something that will definitely stay with me as one of my most treasured memories that I will forever cherish. During the past few years, Jeremy and I had many coffee catch-ups and regular conversations, either online or over the phone when time permitted, which was usually late in the evenings. Jeremy wasn't just what I call a good friend to me. He was my best friend, my mate, and he was like a brother to me. He shared my best times and was there for me in my lowest times. I'm not going to say goodbye, because goodbye is too hard to say for someone who meant so much. But I'll say see you later, and rest easy, my friend. I have a tribute now from Joe from the Western Division Badminton Club, and he's written, Jeremy was a very keen badminton player and was reliable. He didn't like letting his team down. He gave 110% to his game. He had a very strong serve that would confound his opponents. Jeremy got on well with his teammates, and he loved a good chat. He loved being on the farm and was always keen to talk about the farm, especially his animals, his geese, cats, dogs, ducks and ponies, but his main passion was for his chickens. His friendship and enthusiasm will be remembered and missed by all who knew him. Elaine Rawlings, who is the secretary of Burnie Poultry, who has had a close affiliation with Jeremy, has written this tribute. A tribute to our great friend and fellow poultry fancier, Jeremy Allen Smith, from the Burnie Poultry Society and poultry fanciers from all around Tasmania and the mainland. To Jeremy's parents, John and Sylvia, his brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, his many, many friends, the poultry community offer to you their deepest condolences. Jeremy was a very respected member of the poultry community. Testimony to that respect is that members from all 9 Tasmanian poultry clubs are here today. And just last weekend, at 2 different poultry events, so many asked for their condolences to be passed on to the Smith family. Everyone that knew Jeremy knew of his love of animals, but especially his beloved Rhode Island Reds. He told me he was 9 when he used to go to look at the poultry at the agricultural shows. It wasn't long before he had his own birds and started to show them. Over the years, Jeremy won some prestigious poultry awards with his Rhode Island Reds and qualified as a soft feather provisional judge. Jeremy's association with poultry spans over 35 years. He was a hard-working contributor at the poultry clubs where he was a member. Jeremy served the Burnie Poultry Society as president and vice president over the last 5 years. Jeremy's quick wit and his big heart got to touch so many of us, and his awesome sense of humour made people feel so comfortable. Fly high, our dear friend, and keep watching over all of us. Elaine Rawlings, Secretary Burnie Poultry, on behalf of Tasmanian Poultry. And finally, one of Jeremy's friends, Jasmine, has written a poem. And she's written, "You left our world without goodbye, filling our eyes with heartfelt tears to cry. Our days are cold, and our skies no longer blue, for no precious moments are left with you. Our hearts feel sorrow for words unsaid. It's a battle without you, our missing thread. So much love you still had to give, so many moments and memories still to live. You left this world, though not alone, for in our hearts you've made a place we call home. Behind every tear, a part of you shines through, a beautiful legacy left by you. Each time we hear your precious name, the sun you send warms our hearts again. Time may pass and seasons may go, but we'll think of you as our gardens grow. Now rest peacefully and softly sleep. Your memories are ours, forever to keep. Forever missed, always held dear, remembered in every moment and tear. Our family and friendship circle are fractured, no longer whole, for it's incomplete without your gentle soul. Life sadly goes on with you as an absent piece, yet it comforts us to know your love will never cease. Flying high, our angel, with the stars and the moon, peacefully reunited with loved ones gone too soon. Thanks Heather and Christian, Joe, Elaine and Jazz for having the courage to put pen to paper and sharing your memories with us today. Jeremy left this world on Tuesday, the 22nd of April, 2025. He will be missed by his parents, his siblings, extended family, his friends, the poultry community, and the many people that he came into contact with over his life. What we're essentially doing today is the putting away of Jeremy. We are locking him safely within our hearts. We deeply love and respect Jeremy. But now, the thing that lit up his eyes, the thing that gave us his smile, the laugh that we'll never forget, the thing that made his body work and help people and play jokes and tricks, the thing that knew everything there was to know about chooks, the thing that knew you and let you know him, the thing that enlivened Jeremy is gone. But that thing will never be completely lost to us, because we all now have a bit of it stuck inside of us. And we will have too, until one day we find ourselves in a place like this, with somebody like me clumsily reading words at our own services. But until then, we won't forget Jeremy. We'll always think a bit like him. We'll act a bit like him. And we'll laugh at the same things that he would laugh at. And sometimes we'll probably cry a bit because of him. Jeremy will visit us in our minds, and tears will form. But so will a smile, because we'll smile the smile of somebody who has had the honour of knowing Jeremy Smith. But for now, he remains locked up inside of us, warm in our hearts, safe in our love. Let Jeremy rest there. Let him ride with you. Take him away with you today and remember what it was about Jeremy that made him special to you. Be stronger for him. Be better. Be kinder. Your son, your brother, your uncle, your friend, your Jeremy. And so, Jeremy, we say goodbye to your physical presence amongst us, and we commit you now. We commit you to our hearts, to our minds, and to our memories. We commit to the telling of your stories so that others will know you. We commit to loving you from now until eternity, and we commit to supporting each other through our loss of you. And gently and tenderly, we commit your earthly body for cremation, eventually to return to the earth from which all life come, and to which, in the end, all life returns. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And to close, I found these words, and it says, "When I come to the end of my journey, and I travel my last weary mile, forget if you can that I ever frowned. Remember only my smile. Forget unkind words I have spoken. Remember the good that I've done. Forget that I ever had heartache, and remember I've had loads of fun. Forget that I've stumbled and blundered, and sometimes I fell by the way. Remember I fought some hard battles, and I won at the close of the day. Then forget to grieve for my going. I would not have you sad for a day, but in summer Just gather some flowers and remember the place where I lay. And come in the shade of the evening, when the sun paints the sky in the west, stand a few moments beside me. Remember only my best. Ladies and gentlemen, as the family prepare to leave the chapel to go and say their own private goodbye to Jeremy, you are warmly invited to stay for refreshments. Would you please stand?
It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark. Try as I may, I can never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. All day long I can hear people talking out loud. But when you hold me near, you drown out the crowd. Try as they may, they can never define what's been said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all.